What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode. In today's video, I really just want to discuss talking about hair type. Now, if you don't know, my name is Notori, and I really enjoy talking about hair. And I feel like with these episodes I've had so far, I feel like it's only right that I discuss hair type because I've actually been inspired to make this video because I've seen a few other hairstylists, like natural hairstylists, talk about this. And this has actually been another conversation or argument that has had in the natural hair community where people like to refer to the curl chart when it comes down to determining their hair type, not realizing that the curl chart is not the 100% accurate way to determine what your hair type is. So that's literally what I just want to get into today's video. So if this is what you're looking for, go ahead and continue watching and we get right into it. So with that being said, I just want to go ahead and ask y'all a quick little question, okay? So based off the information that's on the top of your head, go ahead and comment below what you think your hair type is. Okay, it doesn't matter what the answer you give. There's no such thing as a wrong answer. I just want y'all to go ahead and explain what you think your hair type is. Okay, now I know there's a chance there's going to be some people that may not agree with anything that I say in this video. There may be some people that may 100% agree with what I say in this video, but hey, take with this information what you feel necessary. Okay, I just like to create videos where I feel it's necessary, and I like to give out knowledge that I feel like people should know. So why do you think we're here today? Okay, so with that being said, let me just go ahead and just move on. Okay, now with that question that I said, if you already know what your curl type or your hair type is, I'm pretty sure you already referred to the curl chart, meaning that you probably referred to the curl chart that literally ranges from type 1 to type 4 and those little ABCs in between. So like if you have type 4 hair, you probably say, oh, I got type 4 A, B, or C, type 3 A, B, C, so on and so forth. Now, although that does play a part in understanding what your curl type is, or what your curl type is, it does not 100% determine what your hair type is. Your hair type goes much deeper than just your curl pattern, because your curl pattern literally can be so many different types just in one head. Okay, it is literally possible. There could be a person who can have type 4C in the back of their head. They could have type 4A in the front. They could have type 4B on the side, and then they can just have another side that's probably just undetermined. Like you can't even tell what your curl type is. You don't even think there is a curl type, like, you know? So it's literally possible. Everybody's hair is different, so don't always just refer to the curl chart. I understand it's really common, especially with a lot of natural hair influencers on YouTube. I'm not trying to bash you guys because you guys are doing a wonderful job, but at the same time, a lot of people are thinking that the products that you guys are giving are going to work for them because they have the same hair type, not realizing that your porosity could be different or your density could be different. So 9 out of 10, those products may work for you, but they may not work for someone else. Or you can also ask like a natural hair influencer that they probably have a million products just sit in a bathroom, from trying to find a product that works for their curl type, not realizing they have to literally find a product that works for their hair type. And once they found that one, now they're using just that, and they have a whole bunch of products they no longer need because it doesn't work for them. Okay, so understanding that and lets you know that, hey, there's a lot more to this. Okay, yeah, you got your curl type, that's good, that's a good start, but that's not 100% where you should be. Okay, now if you're the type that probably you grew up in like a salon, you probably grew up with family members who were a hairstylist or friends who are a hairstylist, or 9 out of 10, you probably in school right now or going to school or recently graduated, anything of that sort. So 9 out of 10, when you refer to your hair type, you probably know, hey, I got fine, medium, or coarse hair. Which, yes, that is the correct way to determine what your hair type is, but of course there is more to it to help you better understand what type of products to use. So if you ever heard anybody refer to their hair type as fine, medium, or coarse, that is the right way to go. Listen to them, because that is the right thing to be paying attention to. Now, I know sometimes as a hairstylist, you may also come across people when you're doing a consultation who like to bring up their porosity. So there's some people that like to say, oh, I have really, really high porosity hair. Or there's some people that like to say, oh, I have really low porosity hair. That also plays a part in understanding your hair type, so you know exactly what type of products to use within their hair and how their hair will penetrate with it, and also determining what type of heat and everything you will use on their hair too. So keeping that in mind also plays a part in helping determine your hair type, because it also will help you find the correct products that will work. And then lastly, there's people that like to bring up their density. So that means there's people that like to automatically say, oh, I have really, really thick hair, or I have really, really thin hair. That also is another way to determine your hair type, but at the same time, it doesn't fully register what it is, okay? So it's okay to say any of those things when it comes down to determining what your hair type is, but at the same time, it does not 100% determine that that's what it is, and that if you tell somebody else to use exactly what you're using because it worked for you, you are going to give them so much wrong information, and you don't want to do that, because everybody's hair is different. Okay, I say everybody hair is literally like a snowflake. Like, there's no such thing as one type of head or one type of hair. Okay, so just thinking that your hair is going to fall literally on the hair chart or any type of curl chart or anything of that sort, you're gonna find yourself being stressed out, because not everybody is going to fall on that chart perfectly. Okay, so don't get discouraged if you feel like you can't find your hair or hair type on a curl chart. It's okay, and especially for those hairstylists that like to charge based off of hair type, I feel like you should really stop, because if as a licensed cosmetologist, you should know that there's so much more to know your hair type than just going based off the curl type. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's go ahead and just determine what is hair type. Now, I done did all that talking on how to figure out like ways to explain it, but let's literally talk about what is it. Now, in my opinion, I literally want to say, once again, like I said, this is all my opinion. I want to say that hair type falls into 4 categories, literally 4. Okay, and everything that I explained earlier is literally a part of it. So yes, your curl type is a part of knowing your hair type. Knowing whether your hair is fine, medium, or coarse is also another way to determine your hair type. Knowing your hair's density is another great way to determine your hair type, and knowing your hair's porosity will also help determine your hair type. So knowing all these 4 categories will literally help you determine what exact products to use and what best way to style your hair, like temperatures and everything like that. So I'm gonna just explain those a little bit deeper so you can help understand. Now, I already explained the curl chart. Like I said, the curl chart is literally based on your curl type. Okay, so if you got type 1 hair, that means your hair is straight, really doesn't have much curl to it. If you have type 2 hair, your hair is a little bit more wavy, so that when you wet it, it literally goes into like this like natural beach wave and everything like that. Now, type 3 hair is more curly. You'll really see this more on people who are usually like mixed or anything like that, so their hair has those real spiral curls. And then type 4 hair is where you see more of the kinky hair. Some people like to call it nappy. So knowing that literally helps you determine literally what type of curl you have in your head. Okay, now when it comes down to the categories of finding out if you have fine, medium, or coarse, fine hair, I feel like these categories literally determine how thick your hair strands are. This is literally my opinion. I'm still learning myself. But I really feel like these determine the thickness of your hair strands. So when you have fine hair, that means your hair strands are really, really thin, and it's really dull, it's really flat, there's really not much you can do with it. You have to use volumizers often to give it volume, to give it like fullness and everything like that. Most people usually like to wear them in pixie cuts or wear them in short hairstyle bobs. Like, so many people have so many different ways to wear fine hair that they think that it's just lifeless. What is not the case. There's so many things that could be done to it that literally gives it life. Okay, so don't always think just because you got fine hair, there's only one specific way you can wear your hair and that's it. That's not true. Now, when it comes down to medium hair, I want to say is what everybody would consider perfect, healthy hair. Okay, because honestly, it could do it all. It's versatile. Okay, it could curl, it could straighten, it can take color, it could take chemicals, it could take everything. Okay, literally perfectly. Okay, So when you have medium hair, you've pretty much the type that you can do it all. You've probably wore your hair in probably almost every hairstyle necessary because you know your hair can do it. Okay, so most times medium hair is what everybody likes to go for. Another way I like to describe medium hair is when you get like a wig, or if you buy like bundles. That is what I also like to determine as medium hair, because it's what a lot of people like to go for. It's like the fullness and the basically the versatility of it. So if you have medium hair, trust me, you would know. And then when it comes down to coarse hair is literally very, very thick. So that means it has so many layers on it to the point where it literally does not have much movement. Okay, it's not so much that can be done with coarse hair. Not only that, is really unruly. So that means 9 times out of 10 it does what it wants. You go find yourself trying to control it, keep it in a certain type of hairstyle or a controlled hairstyle, and it's going to do what it wants. Okay, so just know if you got coarse hair, you will be able to tell. Okay, so with all of these, fine, medium, or coarse hair, trust me, you will be able to tell just based off of how your hair reacts on its own. Okay, now the next one is density. Density, I've actually spoke about before in my first video. I will actually link that below, but if you have not watched it, just to give a quick little sum up, density is the amount of hair strands you have per square inch in your head. So if you find yourself literally sectioned out a square inch of hair and you see that you can't really see your scalp, 9 out of 10 you have high density hair. So most times when you have high density hair, you have to work in much smaller sections just so that you can penetrate each hair strand. And 9 out of 10 you probably have to use a lot more product because you have a lot more hair on your head. Okay, so don't always think that just because you have high density hair that you naturally have curly hair. That's not the case. There's people that has really straight hair and can still have high density hair. It's just all based off of sometimes genetic background. Okay, so there's a lot of people who could come from Asian descent that can literally say that, hey, they have really straight hair, but their hair is really thick. So whenever they get their hair colored, the stylist or whoever does their hair probably has to work in much smaller sections. Same thing vice versa. There's times where you can have really curly hair. Okay, I've had it. My mother has it, where literally you can have really curly hair and your hair is thin. Okay, so that means you have low density hair. You have to work in much larger sections. You may find yourself not really using that many products. Like, products last long with you. Like, you know, so knowing these things will literally help you determine how long you'll have a product, what size of sections to use when it comes down to doing your hair, and also how heavy of a product. Now, how heavy of a product really goes down to porosity, which I'm actually about to get into, which, you know what, let's just go ahead and get into it. Now with porosity literally determines the amount of moisture your hair can take. Okay, it's your hair's ability to retain moisture and keep it at the same time. So, you know, literal definition of porosity is how your cuticles line. Okay, so if you've realized that your cuticles are laid down, if you literally took a magnifying glass and your cuticles was flat, laid down and everything, I mean, you have low porosity hair. I mean, 9 out of 10, whenever you go swimming or anytime you go to wash your hair or anything like that, your hair has a hard time letting in that moisture. Okay, so that means your hair has a really hard time getting wet, and not only does it has a hard time getting wet, but when it do get wet and you do get those moisturizing products in, your hair has a really hard time drying. Okay, because those cuticles are closed, they are sealed. Okay, there's not only, you have to literally do certain type of agents to open up those cuticles to get them inside, so you probably have to use heat to really get that moisture inside of low porosity hair. But once it's in there, it's in there. Okay, so that's what they actually like about low porosity hair, that yeah, it may be hard to get that moisture in, but once it's in there, it's in there. Okay, but it's also more prone to product buildup. So you may also notice if whenever you use product, you have a hard time getting it out, or you see a lot of product buildup, you probably have low porosity hair. Now, high porosity hair is literally the opposite. Okay, so high porosity hair means that your cuticles are literally open, they're lifted. So that means moisture goes in very, very easily. But not only does it go in easily, it leaves just as easily. So that means 9 times out of 10, your hair is very, very dry. No matter what moisturizing products you use, moisturizer, leave-in conditioner, deep conditioning treatments, it doesn't matter what you do, your hair will still bound to feel dry. And that's mainly because your cuticles are open. So that means you probably have to use like cold. You may notice that some people like to say rinse your hair with cold water so it seals your cuticles. You're gonna have to do that, okay, because you have to literally lock that moisture inside your hair. Okay, so when you have high porosity hair, I mean 9 times out of the 10, your hair is probably damaged from something. I'm not sure what, but your hair is probably damaged. That's why it's like allowing moisture in and allowing moisture right back out so quick. But at the same time, it also could be fixed. So don't always think that just because you have high porosity hair that your hair is just dead. It's not the case. It just means that your hair is just lacking some moisture, or it just has really a lot of holes inside of the cuticles. So that's something you should really just see a licensed professional about and try to figure out what it is that you guys can do to basically work on that, because there's so many different ways that you can fix high porosity hair and pretty much make it healthy for it to go normal. And everybody knows normal porosity is pretty much healthy hair. Okay, it takes in moisture good, it holds moisture good. Like, you could pretty much use any product that you want, you're going to get the same results every single time. So a lot of people, I mean, not too many people really have normal porosity hair because it's really, really rare. Like, you have to really have healthy hair to have normal porosity hair. And so with that being said, those are really just the main key ways to describe what your hair type is. So for me, for an example, I really just want to say what my hair type is. I want to say I'm more of like a 4B, 4C, plus I'm more of like I want to say like a fine medium with like medium to low density hair with like high porosity. Okay, so as y'all can see, I'm still trying to figure out what my hair type is, because like I said, hair type literally is based off of what your hair wants to do. Okay, I'm still in a transitioning phase of my hair, so my hair has literally so many different characteristics about it in so many different areas. So don't always think that your hair is just literally limited to one single thing. Your hair has so many different characteristics about it. It is literally made just for you. Okay, so find what works for you, find a routine that works for you, and if you really have a hard time determining this, find a natural licensed cosmetologist that will literally help you work with this, because a lot of people like to go jump right to the natural hair curl chart, thinking that that's their hair type and not realizing that they're just putting so many products in their hair that they probably don't even need, and which is not even the case. So just do your research, find you a licensed hair cosmetologist to work with, and let's just work on the health of our hair. Okay, it doesn't matter how you wear it. You can wear it in a natural, you can wear it in a protective style. It doesn't matter how you wear your hair, just long as you pay attention to the health of it. Okay, so we can work and be better in the future. So with that being said, I hope this video was really, really helpful, and I hope you guys will be able to determine what your hair type is. So with that being said, if you guys really fully watch this video, go ahead and now see what you think your hair type is, and go ahead and comment below, and I want to see you guys results. Okay, so with that being said, I'm out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.